Wait, I've got it. The meaning of life is...
Oh God! Why? Why? Why?
I will rip your intestines out and use them as a headboard for my tent, so that all will know not to come into my home without knocking.
Bring it, Chubby! Okay, hold up. This rage fest is literally gonna go nowhere. Look, I'm sorry for just barging into your home, and to make it up to you, how about I let you have all the cookies in my kitchen? Sound fair?
Chocolate chip cookies, right?
Well, there's chocolate chip, both white and milk, Oreos, digestives, hobnobs, chocolate digestives, just a ton of biscuits in general, really.
Oreos.
What do you notice about it?
Huh. You think so too?
What do you mean?
Well, I thought this episode was average too. Hey, while you're here, want a collab? Gives us something to do, right?
Yeah, okay. It's not like my tent is going to be out of here anytime soon.
So Return of Harmony is the opening episodes of the second season of MLP Finn, and the second two-part story we have in the show.
Do we need to explain the premise of this episode? It's the intro to the spirit of chaos himself, Discord, prior to his reformation of wanting to turn Ponyville into the chaos capital of the world, but then is defeated by the main six by using the good old-fashioned elements of harmony.
Don't forget about the best part of a chaos capital.
Cotton candy? Chocolate milk? Chocolate milk, right?
In the writing of this episode, I have the same problem with it as I do Slice of Life. I feel like it could have been done more in a certain amount of time. Like, have this be the first MLP movie rather than the EQG.
Yes, however, unlike Slice of Life, we do need to take into consideration this is only the show's second season. I do have to admit there are a lot of missed opportunities here, but some of them can be forgiven. Don't forget, they had to compress this episode down just to 45 minutes of screen time.
It doesn't help that we have so much of a personality as Discord to be fleshed out in such a little amount of time. We get exposition in this episode, but I don't feel like we truly get an idea of what his character is until later episodes with Fluttershy.
Okay, now this reminds me of another show which pulled this kind of introduction, or reintroduction if you will, of a character. The example I'm talking about is from the third season of Doctor Who, when it returned back in 2009. The three-part Master arc, to be specific. The first part, towards the end of the episode, introduced us to the return of the long-standing Time Lord villain, the Master. Then the second part gave the writers the opportunity to flush out this newest type of character, while also addressing some of the chemistry he had with other characters, such as the Doctor and even Martha and Captain Jack. And towards the end of the third part, we actually got to see the characters rise against him and ultimately defeat him.
Yes, but again, we're dealing with a time issue here. Doctor Who episodes are about 45 minutes an episode, so they're able to flesh out more of the characters into a span of one episode than these two episodes, which is about the same amount of time, including the credits and the opening song. I find that the first part was very good in fleshing out a completely new and different character than we will see prior and continue to see. But the second half suffers from pushing too much into such little time, making the ending feel rushed, and Discord seems stupid by the end, contrary to what we believed in the first episode.
Also, let us not forget the beautiful scene where Discord actually makes 5 of the main 6 to actually think on whether their element is good or not. Example, Applejack can sometimes lie to hide a terrible secret from your friend. Pinky and whether she's actually making a friend laugh, or whether they are laughing at her with her attempts. Rarity and her obvious greed. Rainbow Dash and her conflicting loyalty in her home, or her friends. Wait, wasn't that moral covered in Rainbow Falls? Anyway, and Fluttershy who... Wait, what? What is this?
I like the overall concept with the two-parter, but it feels so rushed that it's really hard for me to completely enjoy the episodes to their fullest. But the moral, no matter what obstacle you may face ahead, that it doesn't change that you're still friends, was a very nicely placed moral in this episode.
Generally, this episode was meh for me, because I loved watching the first part where we got to establish the intelligent villain of Discord, who hid the element of harmony away, turned the 6 against their own element, and just the way he uses wordplay. I mean, that bit where he said the elements weren't in the maze, I was on the floor laughing. This guy is awesome. But that's just another reason why part 2 was so disappointing. Because what took an entire episode to establish in Discord reversing the 5 just took over 3 minutes to resolve? Are you kidding me? But pacing issues aside, it was the writer's second attempt at a 2-part story, and I guess you can forgive them this time, but definitely not for that. And yes, the moral itself was well placed for this show, and definitely a good one to tackle for a kid show. Overall, I would give this episode a 4.5 out of 8.
The animation for this episode was really good for the time, making for really great atmosphere and overall acid trip that the 60s would be so proud of. The episode had very few actual issues with the animation, and overall entertainment of it was alright, but I still think that it would have been better as a movie rather than a 2-parter episode. It's worth watching, but not the best episode in the world.
Definitely. The point I was trying to make with the Doctor Who reference was the fact that the writers took the time to explore the Master's story arc. Let us not forget, the Master arc is currently the only 3-part story arc in Doctor Who. And that is one of the fixes I would have implemented on this episode. Making it a 3-parter or even a movie would have been a unique jump for the show, and also would allow the writers the chance to expand and flush out Discord's character, or expand upon the elements dealing with their own self-conflict, or maybe even seeing a flashback to the past on how Celestia beat him, so Twilight can learn how to defeat Discord. Not do it 2 seasons later. But considering what we got, I do think this story was a worthy attempt, because the only real issue was the pacing. The villain was great, the story was awesome, the conflicts were just gold. I'm just really disappointed it wasn't given the chance to go further with an extended story time. This episode could have been a lot better than what it was.
Still worth watching, and still something that never needs to be forgotten. I'm your future evil overlord, Crimson Glow, and drink that cotton candy cloud.
Totally in agreement, Thunder Thighs. This is the MVK, signing out. Peace!
I swear by Sombra's horn, if you call me fat one more time!
I'm ready for round 2, Tubby!